Okay, good.
Hi, welcome back for episode 2. So this one's we're gonna get in depth for exactly what happened after she found out and what she did or what we did to beat the fuck out of that shit. No, I'm just kidding. What we did to better her life and change the results of the test. So, well, yeah, I don't really know.
So this was August 2018 when all this stuff was happening and all the things I found out. And my daughter, we had spoke, and she gave me her opinions and what she thinks that we should do. And she said, Mom, you know, there's always a reason for why things happen. And the reason why maybe this happened to me is now 2 years later, we're kind of like dealing it with you so I can help you. So I'm not a reader. I don't educate myself, which I probably should. I mean, like, I'm not a researcher. So I am educated, but I don't research stuff like my daughter does. So through this, so I don't research things like my daughter does. So she said, Mom, you know, I've been, you know, reading this book, and I've been reading and trying to educate myself through diet to get off of this medication. So I bought this book, Thyroid Healing. It's really good. You need to read it. And it talks about how to starve the cell.
It's by Anthony William.
Yes. It's an amazing book, by the way. But she's like, you have to do what I say. You cannot go off of this. You have to listen to me, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay.
So what we did, because she's like not getting to exactly
I'm going to get to it.
So I had her buy this book. And my mom was a big meat eater. Steak almost every other night.
No, once a week steak. Okay. Chicken, though.
Steak constantly. Chicken constantly. Cheese constantly. All of it. Ice cream.
I like everybody else in the world does, you know? And you never think it's bad. But I didn't eat bad all the time. During the week, I had like meals that I would make that were healthier. That at least I thought were healthier. Until I got this book.
So, I had her get the book. We did use some of the recipes from there, but for the most part, a lot of the recipes were of my own. I did have her, we did the cleanse. All 3 months of the cleanse.
But we started, it was the last week of August. This is the time frame of 2018. It was the last week. And this was a very strict diet. Okay?
Okay, so last week of August, we started. It was about 30 days each 30 days each cleanse.
Mm-hmm.
Each one was different. It was liver and lymphatic, gut, and then it was a lovely thyroid healing. And man, let me tell you, that thyroid healing cleanse is no joke. So much work.
So this is how my day started. I had to get up even like an hour earlier than I normally did.
We need to explain what you did every day.
With the 16 ounces of celery juice, I don't explain that. Because that was hard. You have to, before you get your day started, celery juice is
So she
amazing.
juiced celery every day, 16 ounces.
In the morning. I still do today.
For months, for still continuing to do it, but that was part of the cleanse. Each cleanse is different, so we're not going to go through all of what she did for each cleanse. Her diet was changed dramatically. She ate a whole food-based diet, so
all
fruits, vegetables. I would honestly say there was no packaged stuff in her meal plan.
No, everything that Dayla had me make, I'd have to do on Sundays, and I'd pack for the whole week. And everything, whether it was sauces or whatever we made for like the first meal, was everything that I had to make myself. I had to go to the store. If I was making a sauce, it was either with cashews, whatever, lemons. Everything was made from scratch. And I had to portion it and go to work with it. And
so I removed all animal products from her diet. She did have, because she wanted to, she did have...
Yes, I did.
Meat, steak once a week, but it was grass-fed, organic, whatever, so...
Only on Sundays.
I had to keep her happy, right? So she did that for about 4 months now, was it? was it 4 months, 5
It's
months?
been 4 months.
5 months. And then I want you to.
Okay, so through this process, I had a doctor's appointment. One doctor's appointment when I went back, they said that my nodule on my right, the one that was the bigger one, so we're talking about 0.7 millimeters on this side, 0.7, 0.7, and then like the one from, it was an 0.9, got to a 1.3. Talked to the doctors. Doctor said that, it's growing, but it also could be the way when they do the ultrasound, how they measured it. So I was kind of disappointed. I called Zayla. I was like, oh man, it got bigger, blah, blah, blah. But I just kept on doing what she had told me, another friend had told me that's helped cure cancer with other people, because I couldn't eat dairy, I couldn't eat soy, I couldn't eat gluten, I couldn't eat corn, no eggs. So my diet was, all the stuff was supposed to be starving the cell. So through this whole process, as I'm doing this, I started feeling
starving. That's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be starving, but till the end when we find out all the results. But through this whole process though, I also took this HGH gel, which is something else, but I started feeling amazing. Within the first 2 weeks, literally I could never go on a treadmill and run. I always felt very heavy on my knees and on my ankles. So now I actually jog on a treadmill. I never worked out a day doing this process except for like walking and working because I had to work. I lost 22 pounds. Felt amazing. The bloating was gone. Everything was good. Hair texture was changing. Skin was changing. I was looking healthy. I was feeling great. And I was like, this has got to be working inside of me. So then when I got those results, I was kind of like, it's kind of bummy, right? So just continued with it. Zayla was like, you got this. I had a couple of days where I was down, but most of the time I felt good. And through this whole process, it changed my whole entire life. Like I will never go back to eating or having the same habits that I used to have. So long story short, I don't know, do you want me to tell them the results that I just got?
So after 4 months of going hard, she recently just went to the doctors, and this is the fun part.
So I went to the doctors. I had my ultrasound and everything done last week on the 28th, 29th, and then the 30th. I gave my blood. My blood results I haven't gotten yet, but the ultrasound. Right when I did the ultrasound, they're not supposed to tell me anything, but I was, asking questions because that's who I am. And I was like, so, how do you look? So the one on the left is 0.5 now or 0.6. The other ones are 0.6. And then the one that got to a 1.3 is now 1.1. So that made me feel good. So the next day I had a doctor's appointment. I can't tell you the names because
they shrunk.
They did. They got smaller.
Shrunk.
They got smaller. Okay, sorry. They shrunk. And then the next day we had to go to Yorba Linda and I had another needle biopsy. So this biopsy was different because the lady that does the biopsies there, she reads the results. So it doesn't get sent out. It doesn't get tampered with. Nothing happens to it. So when I went in, I kept on telling my husband, I'm like, they're going to tell me, you're fine, go home, blah, blah, blah. There's no cancer. And he was like, yes, that's what, of course, we all want him to say, right? So we went in and they biopsied the larger nodule. And she was actually able to do another one that was on my right side that was smaller. When I mean they're smaller, like 0.5, and I don't know how she did them. But she biopsied the big one in 2 places and the other one in 1 place. And she came back in probably in about 10 minutes. Obviously I'm praying, I'm waiting for the results. And she came back and she said that they are benign. And I was like, yes, I knew it. So I believe that me and Zayla, but all through Zayla, but my efforts, because I couldn't have done it without me. But Zayla giving me her strength, I found that I was stronger than I ever thought I was, and I do not have cancer, and it worked out amazingly. Like, it also changed my life. I want them to do another gen test because I really don't believe that that's in my gene. But now every 6 months to a year, I will be getting tested. Though if they move or start to get bigger, obviously I have to have more tests done. But he did say, and I'm going to talk to him because I haven't seen my oncologist yet, if they do get smaller, he said he's going to write a book. So I'm like, he's going to write a book about Zayla and me.
He's going to write a book. They got smaller.
Yeah, well, like, yes, they're going to get way smaller. But he was very adamant that they wouldn't change.
And that she was going to have surgery.
Yeah, and he said...
And now we are 5 months later, and no surgery.
No surgery. And that's all because of Zayla. So... And because of the support of my family, because I couldn't have done this without everybody. It was a process. It wasn't easy, but it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. And the results and the benefits that I have achieved from all of this outshine everything that I had to go through. So it's been a great experience. And for anybody, changing your diet, you really are what you eat. It makes a huge difference in your life.
All right. Well, I think you get the gist of this story. We're always growing and we're always learning. It's going to be something new out every day. But what we can do is treat our bodies like temples and do what we think is right and what's best for ourselves, and positive things can come. I think that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you have any questions, please contact me. I love to help people, but I do get tired, but I might not respond right away. Anyways, thank you. I appreciate everyone's support through this. I appreciate everyone's kind words through this, because this was a hard time, and we will continue to obviously have hard times with this, whether it's with myself or with my mother, because it's going to be something that we're going to have to deal with for the rest of our life, and we're going to have to be cognizant of all the time of what we encounter. But we got it. There's nothing that can break you if you don't allow it. So
you're stronger than what you think you are. You just have to reach deep inside of you, or have someone help you do that.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. I shall see you again. Bye.